This Week in Action.
So we're still going ahead as planned.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then
Too good to be true.
That's not what they did here. When's the money go in?
what other horror stories can come with this?
We love Tencent.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 61. My name is Aaron, owner and operator of the YouTube channel Action RPG. And with me, as always, two of my friends, two of the leaders of the channel, the people that truly do everything, Daft and Guilty. Say hello, gentlemen.
What's going on, people?
Heyo.
That wasn't a very energized heyo.
Well, maybe he's adjusting because he had a couple blowout hayos that went, silent and
All
then
right,
came in.
Guilty. Listen, we're just gonna test. We got to test so I can fix this stuff. So take a deep breath. Give a little more heyo. We'll see if it cuts in and out.
Heyo.
That was perfect. It worked out
Worked fine.
great.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at that.
See, it's on your end. 'Cause I didn't
the
change
power of
anything,
commitment.
so. As always, we have a great show planned for you today. Lots of gaming news that actually dropped today. So thank you all for being here. Daft, how's your week? What's
Going
new and
well.
exciting? Anything?
Anything?
Any news?
Art projects. Enjoying a couple of surprise games, little indie games that I've shared with you, like the Crab one, Crab Champion.
Yeah, what's up with
It's
Crab
super
Champion?
fun. It's a fun game. You should check it out. It's like a skill-based shooter, running around islands, and then you progress your character, and you use different types of weapons, and you just build your character, kind of like a Vampire Slayer type game, but not anything like it. But it has a progression where you pick up stuff, and yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Crab
The Weekly
Champions.
Wilson podcast.
Yes,
Oh.
that right there.
Gosh, he said that on purpose. Wow, it looks extremely fast paced.
It is.
It's
very
PvP.
I don't think so. Maybe
Online
It reminds me
co-op,
of, like,
single player.
there is co-op. Yeah,
Goat Simulator.
yeah, it's
Do
crazy.
they dance? Do they dance like the meme or the commercial? Whatever it is.
I
feels
haven't
that they
seen any
should.
dancing.
They should
Okay,
dance
I
to that
feel
song.
like I've missed something. Okay, so somebody help me out here. My daughter for Christmas, my 14-year-old wanted crab pajamas, and she has these pajamas that are just covered in crabs that look like this. Is there
Okay.
some kind of meme or TikTok or some crap around
There is.
Not
crabs
a new one.
that I'm missing?
There is meme to it, but I haven't looked into it. But I've heard it referred to in somewhat from some content creators. So I don't really search the memes, but maybe someone knows in chat.
Yeah.
This game right now, just to be clear, dropped April 1st, 2023, and has out of 5,200
Yeah, Flinter's
reviews, a 98% overwhelmingly positive.
The Crab
Yes.
Rave.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
Crab dance?
Crab Rave. It's a very specific thing. It's like a little short video.
Crab
Okay.
Champions. Is it like this pace right off the bat?
Pretty
Like-
much right off the get-go. You start off with like two weapons, like a pair of shotguns, and each button is a different shot. So your right button, your left button on your mouse.
And your
And then,
your WASD to move?
WASD to move. Jump is your space bar. Your shift is your speed boost. So you can zip around, so you can jump once. And from the beginning, you can double jump, right? So 1, 2. So you could jump and then go sideways. There's all types of like...
Oh, they
movement.
label it as an action roguelite, which means, this could totally fit on the channel.
Yeah, that's why I shared it with you, because you see right there in that picture, that's when you open up the end of an island, you get a little chest, and there's things like one-hit challenge where you kill things in one hit, or you get killed in one hit for a certain island. They're always on these islands.
You like
And
islands because you like Makoko seeds on Lost Ark, so I could see why you would like this game. No,
Exactly.
That's an interesting bridge.
That was a
you
bridge.
like that
That was
bridge?
Yeah.
You're right. That
I
wasn't
was-
a very good bridge.
Yeah, it
Someone
wasn't
might
that
call that a 7-mile bridge.
Guilty, how's your week going? I'm sorry that your weekend has come to an end. Wait, you worked today, didn't you?
No.
No?
I
Oh, you were just
was
talking.
working today, just not doing my actual job.
Oh, I told everyone about a potential promotion earlier on stream.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that thing.
It's potential.
I was oversharing. I'm sorry. How's your week going?
I mean, it's fine. I helped one of my neighbors load up her. She has a digital harpsichord.
Mm.
We put
How
that in
big?
the back of her car. It's like a mini. It's bigger than a synthesizer, but not as big as an upright piano.
Okay.
It's like in between.
How heavy is it?
It's awkward. It's not heavy.
Yeah.
It's because it's got the general shape of a harpsichord, so it's like an amoeba with legs. But yeah, I don't know. She's a nice lady. She also has like bass flutes and stuff. She's got weird instruments.
Oh, you know what? Raven's Watch. We did not.
That's another one.
I did not pull that one up. Have you played that one yet on the channel? No, I've made 2 videos on the channel, but I have not played it yet. I was like, I'm either going to play Raven's Watch or PoE. And I just played Last Epoch. Dang it! Why does that always happen to me? Gentlemen, I'm glad you're here with me today. Like I said, we have a great show. So, what we're going to be starting off with is actually a video that I posted today. We have some news from EHG. And if you didn't see it, as of today, Beta 0.9i patch notes have dropped. And what I said in my video, these dropped 7 hours ago, is that this is like the size of 90. This is bigger than 95% of all Wolcen content updates that we normally get. And this
All of them.
this is starting, Daft, correct me if I'm wrong, when you see stuff like this, a little bit of EHG of old. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. The pacing and the delivery. Yeah, I'm starting to feel
up
it.
to 4.6.
I think they feel a little more confident now that the game is, at least the multiplayer's released, and it's worked out pretty well. People are enjoying
Exactly.
it. The numbers are still staying around, so yeah.
yeah, looking at 0.9i, this is the patch notes for it. Scrolling.
Do you think that the new hires are acclimated now,
Scrolling.
and that's why we're seeing them get back to their usual selves?
That could be part
I
of it.
think they are pleasantly surprised with the multiplayer launch and the reviews of the larger streamers and their crunch time, their, hey, maybe no vacation, hey, we're approving overtime, is currently, we have to keep the pedal to the metal to maintain this level, of hype or however, momentum, knowing that the behemoth is coming in June. And
Sure.
What's the behemoth?
don't be ridiculous. Don't do that. Not now, Guilty. Don't do it. You know what it is.
The guppy. The guppy. Got it,
You
got it.
know what it is.
The guppy.
He knows.
The skill
He
guppy.
does.
The skill tree guppy. Got it.
The 50 million, I don't know, 30
I don't care
million
what it sells.
copies.
Its skill tree is not that great. I don't like it.
You're
I don't
right.
care how much it's sold because of its name.
You're right. No one's probably gonna play it.
No, they're all
Anyways,
play it. But yeah, guys, which game has a more intriguing skill tree?
Last Epoch.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I
I mean,
could,
I like it. It's got a little character.
I could play Ellie while I listen and watch this. Now you're talking. Okay, we're gonna go through a couple of the patch notes here. Starting off with my favorite.
Oh,
Enemy.
Before, I'm gonna play D4 for story and come back to this. Daft and I actually talked. We
Yeah.
would go and see like every D4 movie that ever came out if they started making them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
They could turn D4 into like a series of 10 movies, and I'll go watch it. And then they could make 10 for each of the other games.
I wonder. Let's just say they made a good movie. B+, A- cinema score movie.
Yeah.
Like, what
You mean
does
like
that?
the World of Warcraft movie?
That is not a B+, A- cinema score movie.
I like that movie.
Point I'm saying is that what would that actually generate from a revenue standpoint? I'm very curious.
Well, movies
yeah,
or a series.
Well,
We need to go.
Straxy, you're absolutely accurate. The cinematics are very good. The story is well thought out and well written. It's good. That aspect of this game is good. The series, I should say.
You would have to be. It would be a reach for anyone to say that the visuals, story, lore, and cinematics across any Diablo game, especially for the time period of when they dropped, were poor quality. I feel like if there was one thing that Diablo leads the pack in, it would be that, or at least arguably top 2, right?
Narrative, yeah. What would be the first one if not that one?
I'm just saying somebody could probably argue something, but they would at least,
They're up there. I mean,
their
their presentation's always been pretty top par.
If you go back through our Patreon audio logs, you're going to find Daft and I casting both a movie for Diablo and for Grim Dawn.
Yeah. That was a while back when we were talking about that. Was like,
yeah, that was a
springtime.
really fun convo. I like that.
Yeah.
You loved that. All right, so let's see some
Great.
stuff that we got today, and I was just showcasing it in the pre-show. We got a lot of visual improvements today to Last Epoch. Which I was very surprised. In my heart, it's like I just want a list of these bugs that are driving people crazy to be fixed. And we did get a lot of that, but it's also like, hey, let's give you some prettiness and some stuff that I think you're gonna like as well.
Yep.
So a couple of things. Emperor of Corpses is back to doing its normal damage.
Ooh. But did they make the area the same size too?
And they made the area the
fixed it.
original size.
Oh, so they just reverted everything they did to it.
But kept the visual improvements to the Emperor of Corpses. So it's still
So
the
gameplay
visual.
wise, they reverted it.
Gameplay wise, they reverted it, keeping the new digital assets. Yes. I don't know if either of you have run into this. That stupid area where everyone's in the Fallen Harbor where you can't kill the spire because it's blocked by barrels and
Yeah.
this has happened to me so many times. On stream once I had to use a singular freaking archer skeleton to kill it. Anyways, that's been fixed. Daft, I thought you'd be very happy about this. Fix the shop inventory in Echo of the World refreshing/refilling.
That was in there so long. Since
CT. That's been in there since online CT. That's finally been fixed where it now refreshes. Today during that 1 hour stream, I bought shards 3 times.
It's gonna be nice. You could just replenish because you go through them if you want. Just burn them.
Exactly. Now, exactly. As long as you're selling your stuff there, you're always going to have stuff to buy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. There was some skills with damage modifiers that weren't working correctly. That has now been fixed, including Firestarter's Torch, which people did not like.
Did they ever fix the it was weird. It was the inside the skill trees, there were like passives that were sub skills that weren't doing stuff. Did they fix those yet?
I don't think that
I didn't see a reference.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in here, so I don't know exactly which sub skills weren't working correctly. A lot of this is all bugs and fixes, including skills. Maybe.
Well, it was like Mike came out and said something like
some are right, some are
100%.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and some were what he said and others were the direct opposite. So
I've got a couple in here for guilty. Fix the bug where it doesn't show the appropriate level of the skill. So you have like a +2 to skill, but it only shows +20.
Have you ever gotten the one bug where you'll go to your skills screen and it'll appear to have +1 or +2 over different various skills, but then you click one of them and they all disappear?
Yes, that is basically the bug. The weird part about this bug, weird thing about this bug is that people would always hit me up like, dude, I think the game's broken. I have +2, but it only says 20. But it still allows you to put the points in, but nobody ever actually tries. I'm like, dude, you have +22. Try and click on a skill, and then it works. And they're like, oh, I didn't even try it.
I've had that bug where I've had +1, but in skill I saw 0 available skills. So apparently that's fixed.
Apparently.
Is that what we're getting at?
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
Fixed a bug in online play where druids could not switch their abilities on their action bar while transformed.
I've learned to accept it. Exathia says, that skill bug was always there for me. So yeah,
it's been there for a while.
Where is?
Did they fix the thing where you come out of your transformation back into human and your feet don't work?
No longer like a wraith acolyte.
You just like
trying.
Might as well be T-posing across the ground there.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, they did. They did address that one.
All right.
I need to find it written out. That's the one I wanted to read for guilty. It was really funny. Where is it?
I've been PoEing it because new league, and I'm actually really enjoying this league.
Have you?
Oh yeah, I really do like. It might be because I've never played totems in PoE before, and Ebonbert suggested I play totems this league, and I was like, okay, I've never done it before, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great.
How far have you made it though?
I don't even know. I'm like trying to build stuff right now. I'm trying to craft. So I'm not done with the campaign yet. I think I'm 5-6 in.
So like level 30?
No, I'm higher than that.
40? In the 40s?
I might be now. I haven't been playing much. Yeah, I just played for a little bit today. I didn't play it all yesterday. I didn't do anything on the computer yesterday except for edit. I've been busy with work. I've been busy with neighbors.
You're a busy man.
Well, I mean, this is the time of the year where all my neighbors are going back up to their homes. They need help.
Daff, listen to this one. Updated many base skill icons, skill tree icons, and passive tree icons throughout the game. This should create a higher quality and more thematic experience for browsing through skill trees and passive trees.
That's nice.
I know it is. Some of those icons are so freaking old. They've talked about 2 in the future. They said it's not on the current plan, but they would like it to where if you update a skill and it's no longer a cold skill, it's a physical skill or a lightning skill or a fire skill. When you actually change it and convert it, that the icon would change to that color so that you would, be able to visually represent the color for it. I was like, that should definitely be in there.
They're adding in all the little colors, all the little spice and everything, and just kind of amping up the quality of the game.
Exactly. I don't.
A little bit here, a little bit there. Just Control F to find whatever word you're looking for.
Yeah, Control F.
No, it's totally fine. They fixed the frickin' thing where you come out and you're no longer
transform.
walking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fix the bug that prevented some players.
We were bitching about that.
No, it was just again. There's some things where there's some bugs that just like scream low quality, and that is one of them.
Well, I mean, the game's not done yet, so typically you would put things in order of what needs to be, because technically you can play while hovering.
Yeah,
that's an animation. It's meaningless, really. You could just play it with a block. The Primalist itself could be displayed as a sphere or any other primitive object, and it'd be fine. It would work out the same.
Yeah.
Did they fix the thing where once you do a leap, you can't move at all? Because that one's not fine.
There's
until you hit
nothing.
yeah.
There's nothing in
I don't
Leap.
know yet.
Yeah,
so they
there's-
fixed the thing that doesn't matter compared to the thing that does matter.
I didn't read anything in there for Leap.
It's not just leap. Well, yeah. I think
it was
leap
movement
specifically.
skills.
It might be all movement skills, but
Yeah.
for me, it was leap every time.
I had it
Or not
happen on the
all.
rogue, the
Yeah.
blade dancer. That happened on that character where I'd stop and I couldn't move at all, and I'd have to hit a different button to.
a different
Move.
movement
Yeah.
skill
Yeah.
to get out of
Yeah,
it before you could actually do the point and click.
Yeah, that
That's a
happened
little
with
sketchy.
Lunge. That happened with Lunge all the time. And while I was playing for the pre-show, the hour, people were saying that Smite and Lunge are screwed up right now. So it does seem that they'll drop like 0.9i, and then tomorrow it'll be 0.9IB
Right.
to like fix whatever they broke when they did it. All right. Dungeons fixed a bug that prevents some players from entering dungeons. The key was consumed and you could access the lobby, but the transition into the
horrible.
dungeon itself did not appear. This was kind of an interesting thing they put in there. I don't know if I like this very much. We are aware that players can sometimes not interact with the boss store at the end of the dungeons. The window to continue does not appear when you click. This seems to be more likely to happen to players that are by themselves. If this bug happens to you, joining a party should fix the problem. Otherwise, relog and try again. Oh, that is so bad.
Oh, yeah, you just gotta relog and try again.
Yes,
So
no
What's wrong with
problem.
that? It's fixed,
Oh.
everyone.
If this bug happens to you, just join a party
Fine.
or relog. Now they did end it. Just to be fair, I want to end it. Read everything. We are working on a fix for this.
Of
So
course.
Yeah, obviously.
it was basically like, hey, if you're running into this problem, do this
I don't-
or this as a temporary band-aid fix. We're working on it.
How common is? I've never had it.
I've never had a problem entering a dungeon and completing a dungeon with the exception of the current Julra boss fight bug.
Is it
Where-
only in that one?
Yeah, so yeah, when you switch between times, you hit D, she teleports you back. So you hit D to teleport times, and then she yanks you back. It's freaking
I would
horrible.
really love to see the way they have that scripted, and I'm talking about their programming. If they're using a state machine,
Yeah.
it could be a logic error and triggers for the state machine.
We just got to get Steve back on. He might be able to tell us.
Yeah, but Steve doesn't. I want to get one of their programmers on. I really
Or
want to know how
programmer.
they've done some of these things.
Yeah.
We
Like
should
it's gonna
try
be
and-
boring as hell, and it's gonna put
Aaron,
people to sleep. But I will
Get
be
to work. Go talk
enthralled.
to him.
Yeah, maybe I'll reach out to Steve, see if he wants to do it. That's a good idea.
we
We'll try and
need-
bring
we
Steve
need
on.
Steve. We need
When
Lore
did we have-
Master.
We had him in the spring. It's been a while now.
Yeah, I could see if Steve wants to come
Yeah.
on. That's a good idea.
I like Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Also, it's crazy when you go through these bugs because it's like, man, there's so many. Like, you know, I feel like they're going to be dropping these until the game launches. Like, there's
Aaron, read
so
the
many.
list.
As a new player, I thought that was how the fight for Julra worked. No, it's a total
No.
bug. No,
Doesn't
it's a-
work that way.
No, that's why I haven't been making legendaries because I need to fight at tier 3, tier 4, and tier 3 I can
Right.
kill, but tier 4 is like, because part of it is you have to deal with the purple pools, and whenever you hit D, you create a purple pool that basically almost like instant kills you. So you hit D, she brings you back, and then it drops a freaking pool right in the middle. It's just the worst. Anyways. Fix the bug that could cause Julra to fail to drop a specific unique from the item or exalted item. Now, I just want to explain this bug for a second. Imagine you are a player and you are working on a build that requires a boss drop from Julra. Not only do you have to go into this broken dungeon that doesn't always work, you also need to fight this boss with a broken, harder mechanic to then have a bug where she does not drop uniques. It's like a
Makes you
triple.
strong.
It's literally like a triple whammy of getting murdered over and over and over again. I remember
As a
people
dev,
saying,
I have a list of over 500 bugs to solve by summer.
there you go. And I know people in stream that have been like, I have killed Julra 25 times trying to get the gloves,
Right.
and it's never dropped. And in your mind, you just think you have bad RNG. No, those 25 times you have fought her and the 20 hours you have wasted, you can't possibly get them. That sucks.
He comes back, my team.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put the quote marks because my team has that too. My team.
Aaron, this is one of the benefits for me right now with hardcore because I'm not zooming in through it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to deal with these things as much. All these like late game. I'm in late game, but not like super crazy hardcore. So yeah.
Yeah, that is a better thing.
No. Speaking of,
if you're gonna get into PoE, we're gonna get into PoE. So don't.
No.
You're gonna go there.
We're talking about dev stuff. In smaller groups, it is easier to handle things than it has been in larger groups, and I'm actually thankful to be in a smaller group now because things actually get done.
It is a little easier to communicate.
Yeah. Smaller groups, I think, are the way to go for indie.
Skeezy said I killed her a few times today, and that didn't happen. Maybe it's fixed. I will test it, and we will see.
Could be.
Okay. But that being said, all uniques, according to EHG, are now dropping, and they have worked on the dungeon entering and key issue and working on the door interaction. So at least progress.
The door thing's constant for them. Remember the early armor room?
Yeah.
Like in the beginning of the game, that's horrible for new players. It was happening right on the release. The very first dungeon, or not dungeon, but boss you kind of deal with.
Now,
87 since smaller groups have less management, that's why they work. We pretty much use like ClickUp, and everything's agile, so we have people that can do multiple different things, and typically they do. You got artists that program, programmers that do art.
You know, I will say that was one of the potential problems I saw with 11th Hour Games. Selling away part of the company to Tencent, and then going from a 30-person studio to 110.
And then they're not agile anymore.
You know, and it's funny. Exactly. I used to be like, hey, I'm going to do this. And I would just like message one person. They're like, yeah, go ahead. And I swear lately it's like, hey, I want to do this. And they're like, oh, well, let me pass that along to this team. And then this team has to like bubble it up. And I'm like, oh, that like doesn't feel as good. Just like, it's going to be good. Just say yes. You know, like
they have teams working on each aspect, whereas before everyone had to do everything.
Well, what it is, it's like this person is in charge of marketing, this person's in charge of social media, and this person's in charge of content creators, and this person's in charge, you know, so it's like I used to just ask one person that I trusted, and they'd be like, yeah, go ahead. And now it's like, oh, well, there's like a
we'll go talk to Paula. She'll talk to the team.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we asked Steve about it, and he couldn't answer. We specifically asked him how they were breaking down their agile work environment. He's like, I can't talk about that. It's because I don't, in my opinion, it's not agile anymore. Like you said, they have people doing specific things and only that thing.
Yep.
It might as well be a AAA company.
It's all bad. Okay.
I mean, it'll eventually level out, you would think, as the teams all start to get to know each other and work together, and you know.
And maybe they're not
spent $3 million on new software package, and we're going under. Oh no!
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Now, obviously, having a larger studio and having multiple teams, I mean, you could work on multiple things at a time, and they want to have cycles coming out as quick as PoE puts out content. So, you know, having a 30-person team and wanting to have a content generating machine like that.
Maybe aim a little lower than that. I mean,
maybe don't give any 24-hour work days.
Dude, they put
sleep in the office. Bring your bedroll.
Guilty. Listen to this. Actually, let me read this section and then I'll go through it. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I showcased during the stream today. And I'm going to make a video on YouTube tomorrow actually showing what these visual improvements look like. But all loot now has an animation when it drops on the ground. Like you see the item
thing.
coming out of the person.
Loot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you kill the
Okay, all right.
person, you could see the belt fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like some
Before
artifact
you would
that's just
just
an item coming out.
you
Got
would
it.
hear it, and then you would see if, loot filter showing it or not.
Yeah.
Basically, you'd see just the little items, but now apparently there's a little
Yes.
thing. Nice. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet because I haven't played today.
Did they
poor-
fix the thing
it's-
where your legs don't walk, or where you can't move after you leap?
I don't know.
Ah,
The
so-
item,
okay.
the items pour out of you. Updated all loot models on the ground. They are now more performant and look better. Added a generic bag model for small items such as jewelry, relics, belts, and idol models for idols. Updated all visual effects for items in gold on the ground. Vertically colored beams. Exalted items now have their own visual effect. Rather than using the effect of rare items, added a visual effect to potions on the ground to make them more noticeable in combat. Updated visual effects on all chests being opened. Added a visual effect for the chest at the echo of the world. So right when you play, you immediately notice this. And I do like it
It looks
a lot.
nice.
I do like it a lot. It looks nice.
Right. It looks like the Ark of the Covenant.
If I had, it's so funny. I just said there's going to be people that complain about not liking it, and now I'm going to
First one.
and now I'm going to
Right
be the
there.
first one to say it.
Wish that my leap was functional.
All you need to do is put toggles. That's all you need to do.
No,
Options.
what?
Toggles.
No, what I want is that
Genius.
items that I have hidden on my loot filter, I don't want them to have a beam, and they do.
They should. Oh. Well, that
Okay.
they can fix that.
They can
That's
fix
just
it.
a couple. They could put a couple lines in there and be like,
If
omit.
hidden.
So
Yeah.
since the item is hidden, but it now has an animation, you see the item drop, you see the item on the ground, and you see its beam, but it's just you can't pick it up. But you still
It'll
see
be-
it.
I'm
can
pretty
fix
sure they'll
that.
knock that out.
Yeah.
And if
So-
you're living or listening, guys, knock it off. Just get it out of
Rez,
there.
it is pretty. It's a tiny beam. It's nice to see that your filter is hiding stuff. Okay, so that's true. I think though the animation's not required. Maybe the beam is fine.
No. It is a
said yes.
very tiny beam. I'm just saying if I had to choose
Very
between
tiny.
if I had to choose before, like, if it being gone and then I hit X and it pops up, I'd rather have it not there. But I get it. It is good to see that your loot filter's working. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
I mean,
Maybe if they could add these things into the loot filter experience, so
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
add sounds, adjust them.
if
What's up, Shin?
Hello.
negative on the
Volume.
Boolean, show beam.
What's up,
There
Shin?
it is. There's the pseudocode. Thank you.
Fixed.
Yes, the code is there.
Fixed a couple of uniques that weren't working right. There's been still tons of bugs in the campaign and it not updating it, not telling you where to go. And if you're getting speed run, you'll get locked out and you can't go and all kinds of crap like that. So the campaign is supposedly much improved. So that's good.
I'll let you know.
Animations. Fixed a bug where if you left a form while walking, your character would
There it
slide in
What's up,
human
Shin?
form instead of playing a walk animation. Guilty, your druid is fixed.
Oh, I can stop playing Last Epoch again?
You could start playing Last Epoch again.
No, you
Fix
said
it.
stop. I will. I'll listen to you.
Fixed a bug
You
where
said it.
if you left a form while using a two-handed weapon, your character would hold it like a one-handed weapon and use the one-handed weapon animation. I don't
does
know
it
if
fix the one where it turns the weapon sideways. in
I
their
don't know
hand?
I don't know if that's what this means, but
I don't know if that's it either, because there's one where it literally takes the weapon transform and
yeah, that's the one I
rotates
told
it
you to make a
90
short.
degrees.
I was
Yes.
showing it off. It's so horrible.
That's a nice one. Or the other one, I think it's drawstring, the spear that just doesn't appear. Have you seen that one? The
no, I haven't
green-
seen that one.
It's the I think it's called drawstring or something. It's like poison spear. It when you hold it, there's nothing in your hand. Absolutely nothing. So
Daft hates it when the like hand isn't holding the weapon. You remember in Lost Ark, it was like
the hands gripping
the
it.
fingers didn't go around it, or it was like on
tacky.
top.
He circles it, zooms in, takes a
He
clip, and
hates
sends
that.
it to us every time.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
bad.
I did notice on the Sentinel. Next time you play a Sentinel and he's holding a two-handed sword, you know, just the way they on your like start screen.
Play a Sentinel?
He's got the smallest hands like they're so tiny.
All right, I'll
and
look for his small hands.
And typically, though, in art, you would draw large hands. That's like you generally draw them bigger.
no.
So it's the exact opposite. They're little
about
tiny
that? What?
hands.
Was it the guy that did the Brigade and whatnot, and the Deadpool creator? He drew like giant chests and tiny hands,
Little hands, huh?
Tiny.
little bony fingers, big O chests.
Enemies have been updated. We don't care about enemies.
What'd they fix? Are they?
I don't know. Just
Sometimes they're useful.
I didn't see anything in there. It's just visuals and sounds. Sound. Unique set exalted, legendary items, and high rarity crafting materials now have new drop sound effects. All other items now have revised sounds for when they drop. Monolith Chest now has new looping and open sound effects. Updated ambient sounds throughout Chapter 3. Fixed the wrong music playing in the courtyard. It's a funny one. Fixed Admiral Harton's voice lines being too loud in the Immortal Citadel.
So
That is a funny one.
I don't know how they're calling their sound, but if they're using audio, it's literally dragging and dropping a file into the
It's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
right spot.
Pretty much.
That's literally, if they did it the way I do it, that's what it is.
If anybody ever got hit with the
No,
error
where is
code
everyone?
LE51, supposedly that's been taken care of. Got some optimizations, including fixed a small memory leak, improving the
thank you.
performance and stability of
How
long
did
game
they-
sessions.
I would love to know how they incurred a memory leak in a managed language. I would
That's-
love to know that.
It's a good question.
Another
And then for
question
you
me.
guilty as well, improve the performance of upheaval.
Yes, thank you.
Don't you
I
use
use it.
upheaval with your bear? Yeah.
I do. I use upheaval. I have not switched over to earthquake yet. I'm using upheaval and swipe.
Now, I just want to say that I am confident that we are going to get 0.91 sooner rather than later. And in here, they talk about we are working on new content. Now, this is very important because EHG is always very clear with their wording and their terminology. When they say new content, that does not mean, you know, new visuals, does not mean new enemies, this does not mean new uniques, that does not mean bug fixing or making sure stuff's better that is existing in game already. New content means something new for us to do. So they won't tell me what it is. I don't know if it's a new dungeon. I don't know if it's something added to the monolith. I don't know if it's chasing treasure goblins. I have no idea.
Is it a letter to me explaining to me how they made a memory
Treasure
leak in Unity?
golems. Would he drop like affixes maybe or items?
No, they want it to be like you kill it and it does drop stuff and then it opens a portal that takes you to like
Okay.
something like that. Point being is that since they have been throwing around new content, that means I mean
So-
it could be new chapters, it could be new end game, could be new dungeon. It just means there'll be something new
Just
to
to
do.
call this
Good
out,
stuff.
raw. Not every bug is a memory leak, and there are things that happen that mimic memory leaks, and in fact are not. Unity uses C#. C# is a managed language. It actually allocates its own RAM usage and has a garbage dump that happens periodically, which prevents memory leaks essentially. That's why it's like I would like to know how you're doing this. What are you doing? You can go through the resource folder, which actually is not present. You actually have to make a resource folder and populate it and call it. So if that's what you're doing, that's not Unity and that's not C#. That's your own issue. And what you're doing is causing the memory leak, not Unity or C#. So I would like to know what they're doing to cause that.
They're using Unity. This game is built on Unity.
Yes.
Okay.
Walker, I just stated how it is through the resource folder.
Oh, I just lost the light.
Yeah. But
That
you don't
one
have
here.
to use the resource.
I fix it.
There
It's
you go.
kind of like it gets overused. Like just because you can, does that mean you should?
I don't know. Should you?
Question you hear growing up a lot.
Thank you for posting bug reports and fixes. We plan to continue releasing bug fix patches at this pace for at least a few more patches.
my
We
mouse.
do have team members working on the new content that we plan on release 0.91 rather than these bug fix patches, but we don't have anything to announce just yet. However, most of our developers are still working on fixes and improvements rather than new content. Some of these projects are long-term than others. In terms of improvements, here are some of our priorities. Improving. I feel like these are like all just generic stuff. Improving server and client performance. Poor performance on either side can lead to some types of lag, among other problems. Maintaining game server and server stability. Monitoring for data loss. Fixing gameplay and system bugs, including dungeon boss door. So they're working on
That I think-
performance,
Yeah.
stability, data loss, gameplay, and bugs. So they're working on
That's-
everything.
I'd
That's the
say,
whole
Aaron,
thing.
though, that's part of them going back to form. They're starting to give us what we're working on. They're starting to. They seem like the confidence, like, okay, we're good. We can start letting them know a little bit what we're working on. Where like 4 months ago,
It'd be like-
it was the exact opposite. Everybody was hush, and we didn't know. And then trade disappeared, and all the world was falling apart. They
I
fixed it.
will say, it being April, Daft, are we getting 1.0 this year? And before you answer, Judd, it was either on stream or in general chat in game, said the goal is this year. Are we getting it?
I'd say at the current pace I'd say yes.
You think so?
Currently, unless we run into something that happens within the next 5 or 6 months that, causes a little uproar or our community is upset. I think right now it still works, the time frame at least. So
Guilty thoughts this year, yay or nay?
They can. I mean, they seem to after the was it the 70 hires they had, 70 plus, it took a while to get them all going. They seem to be going now.
I'm going to say I want it to come out this year, but I don't think it is.
Yeah,
And it does pain me to say that.
they could release 1.0 without it being fully implemented. Like they don't have to have everything out. They just need the three new masteries,
Yep.
right,
and that's really it.
Every once in a while,
masteries and the trade guilds. I
every
think.
once in a while,
Yeah.
Mike says
Steal it.
something on his Friday streams that does not instill confidence. So someone will be like,
He's
when is this?
doing that on
insane.
purpose?
It's insane.
It'll be like, because he literally gets this
Yeah, they were
question.
promising
He gets
again.
this question 20 times a stream, more than that, 50 times a stream, and he'll just skip over it. The question will be, when are we getting the masteries, or a specific mastery, like when are we getting Warlock or Rune Master or Falconeer? Or he'll get the question, when is 1.0? Or he'll get the question, when is Cycle 1? So those three questions are like 80% of the questions he gets.
Sure. He probably
And-
has a generic answer right now.
The current generic answer for the masteries is masteries are
Working
coming at 1.0. I don't know when 1.0 is coming.
Right. That's a cop out.
It was leaked or said that our goal is this year, and he literally, I swear on my life, it was like, you know, it was leaked that it's this year.
So you think it's
so
like a
that's
fake
our
leak?
goal? No, he just like, if you could read somebody that is not confident in a response, it was like, yeah, the goal's this year.
Yeah.
And like I get to see him in his head being like, "There's no
So all
freaking
they
way
need
we're
to
gonna
do-
hit that," you know.
Like, okay, I understand that they want the pretties in. They're competing with other pretty games. Their game is never going to be as pretty as D4.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
Just-
Never, ever. But it is, in my opinion, a more intricate game currently. Like, I know we only got the 25, and there's people saying, oh, you can use the Paragon things to do stuff. But I think even at that point, Ellie's still going to be more intricate. And it has a better crafting system.
Mike also said the other day that they haven't started working on factions yet.
No, still, okay. We know that they have at least a test or a model for what the bazaar was.
Yes.
I think what they're talking about is they haven't implemented in any way, shape, or form the perks that each of them would be getting. So what they haven't been working on is cough. So they have a rudimentary model for
Right.
what Merchants Guild will be.
Yep.
Because they had to have had a model for it from Bazaar. So Bazaar 0.2 or Bazaar
Yep.
Revised, whatever they're calling it, they already have somewhat of a model. I think they just haven't implemented anything that they put like, oh, it's going to be 20% to this. That's the type of stuff I don't think has been started yet.
It was also announced that 1.0 will start cycle 1.
Yeah, and we're in this lull right now. It's kind of a generic cycle.
That means we need 3 masteries, which would include 3 passives, trees, and all the skills will be even across every single class, which totals 24 skills, and the faction system, and a cycle mechanic in 7.5 months.
Rotten Gamer, I'd say it's subjective on worst, but it's definitely not the prettiest.
24 skills, 3 passive trees, 3 masteries,
Yeah,
with
Rotten
the
Gamer.
factions and cycle 1.
I think they should release this year, regardless if they've finished all the things they've talked about.
Ellie is the worst looking modern ARPG out of all of them. What's modern?
Yeah, I would consider Grim Dawn a modern ARPG at this point with all the updates.
Yeah, within 10 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
He be trolling. He be trolling.
yeah, Rotten Gamer. Well, no, Rotten Gamer comes in and
He
has
loves
a
his
special-
Ellie.
Yeah, but
he has a
Rotten Gamer will
special
come in and
LE
be like, why
on
aren't
his
you
heart.
playing Wolson? And he thinks Wolson's better, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
They are.
Remember, Rotten Gamer, that the most played games in the world are Roadblocks and Minecraft. So just keep that in mind.
Remember, Candy Crush made up 75% of its parent company's revenue.
So,
Was it
Siraxi,
76?
I
75?
agree with what you're saying, but I don't play video games necessarily for campaigns or, the cinematics and all the store and the lore. It's nice when it's there, but typically you don't regurgitate it. It kind of helps you get through the first time.
Yuka
Now-
Bone, I agree 100%.
Now, for the people out there that are lore enthusiasts,
Yeah.
okay?
So you're talking
EHG
to Daft.
is not abandoning their campaign, abandoning their story or their lore, okay? They really do want to, again, remember that the core group of people that started this game wanted it to be the true successor to Diablo 2. And any true Diablo 1, Diablo 2 fan understands the importance of lore. They want to have lore books and lore visuals and lore art. They want to have a long, extensive campaign, which makes me feel sick. But I think there's 12 total chapters of the campaign, and right now there's what, 8 or 9 in game. They are updating. They're updating every
All the
cinematics and intro cinematics for every class, including all the cutscenes, and they're all going to be professional and voiceovered, and they want to have transitions in between chapters. You know how you know how like in Diablo it'll be like chapter 3 and it'll be like fiery chapter 3 in transition. So right now it's hard to know like where the hell am I in the story, because there's not that transitional point. So 1.0 will have all those new transitions in there. So for the people that, I'm not saying LE will ever be D4. Please don't take my words and run with them like that.
I mean, by D4,
I'm saying,
what do you mean?
I'm just saying like, that
Pretty
level,
campaign?
just that level of cinematic quality.
But the candy shell. But what
Yeah.
kind of candy's inside of the shell?
Exactly.
Is it chocolate?
It's candy corn.
Is it hollow? Is there no candy at all?
It's candy corn. Too late, Aaron. I already ran with your words. No, don't clip me out of
Shit.
context.
Run it, Straxy. Right now, LE has placeholder lore story. They're focusing on playability, which makes sense to me and makes sense to me too.
I don't know if it's placeholder as much as just.
Well,
I mean,
as far as the cutscenes.
the cutscenes, yeah, but the actual in-game lore, if you follow it, I think it's what the lore master wanted. We'd have to get him around.
So
he said yes. He's waiting. We're waiting for permission from his uppers.
So EHG doesn't feel that 1.0 game launch requires a finished story. So they have a very long priority list of what needs to get done in their minds, and they're checking off those boxes as far as being able to launch the game as a finished product. And that does not include the conclusion of the lore. They also want it to be an evolving story. And that's why they're not working on it right now. Because right now it's like, dude, when you come out of druid form, your legs don't move. Like there's
so the lore master's not working on that. Like that's why they're not agile anymore. They each team has its own thing it's got to do.
No. I'm sure the lore master is working on books and art and who knows what. Well, but as far as actually game implementation and building a whole new chapter, that's coming second to you can't fight Julra,
Right.
Well, do you remember Myst? I guess remember it's on Xbox Game Pass right now.
Yeah, I know Myst.
Yeah, Myst, Riven, Exile. I think that's the trilogy. There might be more. I think they had like an MMO too. But originally there was a it was Atris, Catherine. I don't remember the third one. There was 3 books. I actually own the omnibus. That's a series that I bought the books and read them when I was in middle school.
Right. I'm reading chat here, and Frosty brings up a question about build diversity. I don't necessarily agree with it because I've played never the same build ever in like 4.5 years. But what do you think, Aaron? As far as in LE build diversity,
hard finding something different or hard finding something that's a different meta? Because that's the issue. People look up what the meta is and do that.
Yeah, I guess if you're coming in from that angle, I just make builds and they generally work. Or
Frosty,
maybe not so well.
If you are wanting to make a build that can push 800 plus corruption,
something that's meta quality, yeah,
you are going to need certain gear, and you're going to have a handful of builds that can do that. If you are looking for fun factor that could do 99% of content,
yes,
there is, I almost said thousands,
lag.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
Aaron,
of
super laggy.
builds.
Hey, Aaron.
What did I do?
Aaron, it's super lag.
Stop touching buttons.
Now it's catching up.
Checking.
Is it good now, guys?
Checking.
Thanks, Flenser, Shasta, One Box Pizza, Mr. Skeezy, Frosty, all of you. Thank you.
Yep.
It's coming back.